Yo, welcome back to the show. As the title might suggest, this is going to be a pretty dark one. RIP to Adam. Never knew his last name. Our boy Trigger Limey passed away February 5th of 2023. From what I'm guessing was a failed suicide attempt, but we'll figure that out as we watch the videos. Let's go ahead and get into it.
It's obviously incredibly sad, especially given, the fact that you saw him get better progressively. I've been in London area to see him twice over the past 2-3 weeks, a few times, in that time period. And the first day was horrible, to see your friend lying there tubed up and everything. And you just, at that point, you just don't know. You don't know if they're going to make a recovery. And then when we started kind of laughing and joking with him while he was still there and offered him a cigarette, and he started to nod and move and react a bit, we're like, yes, okay, there's a start. And then the next day he was a little bit better again. And then the next day, after that, he got unwell again, and then he was a little bit better again. And then when I went out there to him the other day, he was literally sitting up in the bed chatting, and we had a great laugh. We talked for about, oh God, at least 2 hours, maybe more. We laughed and joked. For those who didn't know, he grabbed my jacket at one point. I was helping the nurses move his mattress, and he grabbed me by the jacket and he pulled me in, and he was like, listen here. He's like, get me the fuck out of here and get me a cigarette, you big wanker. And that's our Limey. That's, you know what I mean? It was great. We laughed and joked. We talked about all sorts of stuff. We talked about, his plans, his recovery, and all that kind of stuff. And then, he started to feel a little bit unwell again, and it just kind of started to go downhill from there. And, you at that point, when you see somebody coming along and getting better and having fought all he has, you kind of think, he can do it. He can do it. And, seeing him with his family, his sister saying, as she was heading off, saying, I love you. And he said it back, and his mom and me, I grabbed him by the hand just before I left. And I held his hand, and I just told him that I was really proud of him. I just said, I'm so proud of you for all that you've fought and how well you've done this far, and you need to keep it up. And he just held my hand and he said, thanks, brother, see you soon. And that was it. He had to go away then. The doctors were having a chat with him and what have you. Then he started to go downhill a little bit. But I suppose the more I think of it, as time goes by, you think about it as, he woke up for us, for all of us, not just his family, not just me, for everybody. He got a bit of a message out to you guys. He joked with me about that as well. He was like, oh, I probably looked like shit in that video, did I? I was like, yeah, you did, but at least you were able to make one. And the more I think of it, it's, he was up talking for that time. He had time to tell people how much he cared, how much he loved them. And he had time for people to tell him how much he was loved and how much he is loved and cared about, and his family. And all the support that people have shown him and the family it's just been amazing.
Hi, beautiful people. So yeah, after multiple failed attempts and waiting days to actually have the strength to hold my phone myself, trying to give you guys a quick update. So it looked like shit. Still on a feeding tube, oxygen tube, catheters, and whatever the other is thing. Got my my war wounds. I don't know if you can. Well, you won't be able to see them because they dressed them, but I'll make sure we get some counts of the. Oh no, I think there's 50 total ish staples. They removed almost 5.5 meters of necrotic bowel. And that, I guess, during which time I was dead for a good 10 minutes, apparently. Anyway. I appreciate the love and support no end. You guys just don't know what you're doing. Thank you. Sorry, it's the nurse with my tissue and all that shit, guys. I hung up a lung again.
And it was kind of, I suppose in some respects it was a relief to him to know that we all have his family's back and that we'll do whatever we can. And obviously I'll do whatever I can to take care and to help them through all of this. Whatever I'm needed is, but yeah, for somebody to be able to just kind of get past feeling so sick just for, a day or two of clarity, to be able to interact with the people that he loves and tell them how much he loves them and have a laugh as well, because you've all watched his channel, I'm sure. I've always said, you'll go back over my live streams, you'll hear me say it time and time again, he's one of the funniest people on YouTube, no question about it. His time, his wit, he is brilliant. And we've had some laughs over those past couple of years that have just been powerful, really, because he's been through a lot of shit. I've been through a lot of shit, who hasn't? And to be able to come out the other end laughing and joking, to be lying there in a hospital bed after all that's gone on and calling your buddy a wanker and asking him to bring you out for a smoke. And I told him, I was like, I'll wait till the nurse turns around and I'll slip you a cigarette. And the nurse heard us and we had a laugh about that. It was just great that, he got to have a good laugh. And he had a great laugh with his sister and his mom as well. And his uncle. And it was almost, I hate to say a last goodbye kind of thing, but it was kind of like that. It didn't feel like that in the moment though. He just has this kind of manner about him that just makes you feel comfortable and makes you, no matter how bad something is, you can have a laugh. And we had a fucking laugh. I'm not going to joke. We had a laugh the other day when I was in there with him, and he was swearing at everybody, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it was just, it was a shock, obviously. I mean, that goes without saying, especially, when you see somebody getting better and then just like that. But I take comfort in it, and I'm sure his family does. Obviously, I don't speak for them, but I'm sure they do. And I hope that he took comfort in those couple of days where he was able to kind of bounce up and talk to everybody and put up a video and have a laugh being the main thing. For someone like him, he loved a laugh. He just loved having a good laugh with everybody, no matter what was going on.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. keep it up if you can. Spread this stuff out. Try to stop other people doing it. And yeah. And I've got little blank spots in my view, so it's hard to know where to look. But I think the camera's roughly about there. I love you, beautiful bastards. I'll catch you all soon. Ta-da.
He would want us to roast him. Yeah, one of the first things I said to him when I went up was like, dude, we've got to get you out of this bed. And he was like, yeah, I know, mate. I can't wait to get back to it. I was like, no. Just because we got to get that fucking dodgy haircut sorted out. And we just instantly, you laugh. Because that's what you do. That's what people like us have to do. Because it's how we get by. You know what I mean? It's all part of the game of life, I suppose, isn't it? It's like, if you don't laugh, you cry. What are you going to do? You just have to take the better option, basically. Daisy May says, God bless him with those last laughs. Absolutely. And like his sister is really, really funny, and we always have a good laugh. I'll just tell you a one funny kind of little anecdote that got a laugh out of him and me. Actually, I laughed about it. So one time his sister was reading the word fatigued, right? And if you read it and sound it out, it looks like fatigued. And she said fatigued. And any time from that time onwards that she appeared to be a little bit tired, he'd say to her, are you feeling a bit fatigued? So when we were in the hospital the other day and she was talking to him or whatever, and he was getting a bit tired, of course, because, you know, when you've gone through all that, you're going to get a bit tired. And I just said, I think maybe he's just a little bit fatigued. And then he started laughing. It was just, you know, it's just, yeah, it was just his sense of humor was infectious. So yeah, he you know, he was a great friend to me, and like, you know, we've all had our struggles. Like, God knows I have, I know a lot of you have, and we all know what he had, and he was always open about it, as I try to be as much as I can, because if you can see somebody else being open about it, you might be able to give them a bit of help. Even if it's just like, for me, one of my goals in doing this channel is to laugh, for me to laugh and for you to laugh, because the laughter does inevitably help get us through things. Like, it really does. Like, we've all had those scenarios where we're crying and we're upset and we're down and miserable, and then somebody says something funny and you can't help but laugh. It's not something that you have control over. You have to fucking laugh. And he was a master at that. No matter how bad things were for him or other people, he was able to make himself and others laugh. And I love that. I really, really did.
And not 2 moments after the video I just recorded and edited, I accidentally disconnect my friggin' dialysis bloody tube. I thought it came down the neck, not down the back of my head or whatever. And I've turned it into a bloody Manson friggin' picture. So yeah, enjoy that, guys.
So I knew Trigger Limey as a creator, as I think I joined maybe his panel once or twice, and I think he might have joined mine once or twice. I know we had wrenches on each other's for a while. I think I lost my wrench and I threw a fit about it because I timed somebody out because they wouldn't let me do what I was doing. That's why I felt bad about it. Is I think the last time me and him interacted, I texted like on the chat, it's like, you broke back, bitch, or something like that. Something mean, but that's That's the life of guys. You don't expect people to die. I just knocked over my vape pen. You don't expect people to die just like, after you argue with them or something, similar to like Snoop and Tupac or something. It'd be like, dude, we're having a little argument. It'd be like, you think you were gonna die, Um, so it's sad. I know, yeah, like I think, he cared about what we all care about, especially if you suffer from depression. He cared about making people laugh and smile and spreading your message, spreading awareness, and hopefully nobody does this type of thing again in our community. But I'm guessing it was a self-inflicted thing. You guys can let me know if I'm wrong or not. Well, I'm guessing he started the process or the chain of events on his own, according to his last message. It seemed anyway.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. Keep it up if you can. Spread this stuff out. Try to stop other people doing it. And